it's been a conversation for the last couple years as well about what was happening. F y'all, I'm out of here. No, I'm not doing that to you guys or to my clients at all. Casually just moving them off my server into their own spaces and I had sent out my emails about 2 months ago, officially letting people for sure know that I had got rid of the phone number that was even connected to the business. So if they really want to find me, they have to email me. I gotta put my head down and get that work done. And I didn't trust anybody else to do anything for me because it was my work. So I built this big old business and now it's not doing it. I can't really perform it the way I want to or live the way I want to because the idea is that I want to create a business that my grandmother can understand. This has actually been a 2-year process. The main focus of it is not web design anymore. And I'm moving on from my web design business in an industry that fed me, that stretched me, that really built. It took me some years to hit 6 figures with Ralph Walker Designs. It didn't even take 12 months for me to hit 6 figures with this. A $1 million runway, you have a 6-figure runway, you have a 7-figure runway, you have an 8-figure runway. It's so beautiful, man. It'll be 2 years in January that we've been operating the C4 Game Truck, and we have over 162, 65 5-star reviews. And it's businesses that have been here for 5, 6, 7, 9 years, 10 years, and don't have as many reviews as we have. But we're trying to keep it so lean to the point that it's just automatic buying the trucks. And the way that I built that business was not. And also we're hiring. That's the good thing too. We're hiring for drivers, want staff. So if you went to c4mobilegaming.com and went to the careers section, you will find a couple of different positions that we're hiring for. I'm definitely excited about that. What's good, family? I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of Focusing on the Soul of the Entrepreneur. I am your host, Ralph Walker, and I am so always happy to be in front of this camera to give you what I believe is on my heart and what I feel like is right timing. I know you hear my voice. My voice is a little bit deeper. I think my kids are trying to test the gangster of my immune system, and it's not going to work. And because of that, and because because when this happens, my voice get like this. I like to go around the house sing a song. The dear path therefore, the waters on my soul, longeth after thee. When you got a deep voice, you gotta take advantage of it. You answer the phone all confidently, all deep, and But anywho, today I want to talk about a shift that I'm taking in real time, and it's something that I didn't record this episode at least like 3 times at this point. And I'm bringing it to you this way into the why and the how, because somebody listening, I believe, is in the same transition too. They're trying to get their bearings on the next move that they're trying to make, and they're trying to pivot from one industry to the next and really don't know how. And also, I think the biggest thing is not just the know-how, but the fear of letting go from one thing to the next, and knowing fully that last thing doesn't serve you in the way that it did at one point. But grateful for what it did teach you and grateful for what it did give you, but it's just not where you are at anymore. And I'm moving on from my web design business in an industry that fed me, that stretched me, that really built who I am and really where I got my business acumen from the standpoint of just being able to be a part of so many great industries. The beautiful part about my web design business is that I didn't just sit my business in one particular industry. I didn't just go after one type of business. I've done all of them, from the DMC hospital in Detroit, a really sobriety house. I've been overseas and done businesses in Abuja, Nigeria. Did a cupcake company over there. Been a part of the Chamber of the Netherlands. Excuse me. You name it, I've been a part of it. every industry. I've done a website in cars, whatever, cannabis. I've done websites in a lot of industries, and also being a part of those industries, I made, because I called that business online business processes, not just a web design, but an online business process. And so as long as I could figure out a great process from the entrance of your customer to the exit of your customer, we had a good thing going. As long as obviously the product is good, the product is good, then we could figure out a good entrance of a customer and the exit of a customer, and that's what I really took on. And so with that, it allowed me to go to different industries and be able to be really really intricate in a lot of different businesses. And so now that I'm moving on from there, I'm fully immersing myself into C4 mobile gaming. We're doing a lot of big changes over there, and we got another truck here added for Georgia. Woohoo! That should be on the road December 1st. So we're marketing for new reservations for that game truck already. And so, but let me be clear, I'm not doing it on some let's burn the boats and motivational speech type of thing. I'm not just giving up on web design, but I'm moving on safely. And what that means is, because I learned something, and the faith isn't chaos. Faith is obedience with wisdom. And there's a difference between a leap and a well-built runway. And I want to be clear about just how I'm doing it, just so that someone just doesn't say, well, I'm just shutting my doors and I'm just moving on. This has actually been a 2-year process. Just kind of safely removing clients away and not charging them to move them away. And, I handheld a lot of my clients. And because of that, I want to do it the right way, where I'm not burning a bridge, one, but then two, I'm not just saying, F y'all, I'm out of here. No, I'm not doing that to you guys or to my clients at all. Like, I'm safely removing them. I'm casually just moving them off my server into their own spaces, and I'm doing it where they understand what I'm doing, and also because I socialize on social media, and some of my clients do follow me. They know exactly what I got going on, and it's been a conversation for the last couple of years as well about what was happening on this side of things. There's a scripture that's been sitting with me, and it says, "To everything there is a season." And sometimes when we're in positions like this, because the business is still making money, it's not like it's not making any money or anything like that. It's just that in order for me to grow and build what I want to build over here, what I believe is going to be best fitting for my family going forward in the future, I have to allow this one to take a back seat. And I have to allow this one to kind of transition into its own space where it isn't dead necessarily because of the fact that all the things that I've learned from it, I'm still carrying on to this next business. And right there, to everything there is a season. It keeps it. I'm not quitting because it's still a part. It's going to be a part of everything that I do, but the main focus of it is not web design anymore. It's C4 mobile gaming. So in this episode, I'm going to break down why it's time to shift, what safe actually looks like, and the boundaries I set to stop being double booked and double minded. And that's that right there. That was a hard thing too, because every time I got a website, because the thing was, even though I may not have been taking on any new clients, my clients that I already have has still been asking me to make changes on the website, to build other websites for them, and I would say yes. And so that's time being taken away from C4 that now, because I accepted this project, that I gotta take time away from C4 in order to.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Don't go nowhere. Listen, you didn't made it to this point already. Go ahead and just do your boy a favor. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you want to grow within your business, you want to grow within yourself, you want to grow with your family and your relationships, and more importantly, your relationship with God, this is the place you need to be. We become a family now. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let's enjoy the journey. Enjoy this episode. Peace.
To complete these projects, and it didn't feel good anymore. It wasn't like it wasn't like I was doing the right thing. It felt like I was just doing it for the money. So that part right there didn't settle right, because now I feel like I'm just hustling now, and I didn't want to feel like I'm just hustling, especially with the gift and the talent that I have when it comes to web design, because my energy and my focus is really with C4 Game Truck. And so there's some boundaries that I started to have to create, not with people, but within myself, and what the standard that I wanted to create, and trying to transition from this to that. And I had sent out my emails about 2 months ago, officially letting people for sure know that, like, even though I've been transitioning people off the server since about June, maybe May this year. There were still a few people that were still hanging on, and I had to send my official emails out, just let them know, like, hey, this is done. You don't have to worry about any more hosting fees from me. This is a free transition. It's not gonna cost you anything. And it's creating those boundaries, because people are still calling. I had got rid of the phone number that was even connected to the business. So if they really want to find me, they have to email me. And they sure enough did. They emailed me, and nobody asked about where my phone was either. I guess I did a good enough job as well with how I wanted to communicate with that business as well. Like, I didn't want to be on the phone too much talking to people. I'd rather have been directly through email. And I email pretty fast. Like, if you send me a text, I'm texting you back. If you send me an email, I'm emailing you back. I don't take days to reply. I just think that's just crazy. And how certain people, like, may take a long time to reply back. Like, what's the deal? Why are you taking so long to get back to people? And so, no, I've always been really good at making sure I kind of reply back pretty fast. Especially now, if I didn't see the email, I didn't see the email, and I'll let you know I didn't see the email. But if I see the email, I'm replying back pretty fast. This, and the other thing is, I want you to stay to the end, because I have a giveaway that I want to do, and this giveaway is really, really cool. And before we even get into it, I'm doing a giveaway for entrepreneurs that are all growing, and they need real support behind the scenes. And I'm opening up my personal connections, because they're overseas. And I've done a lot of work. I have a whole team of people that I work with overseas, people who can help with things like web design, development, branding. You need a logo done. You need some video work done. And the thing is, the reason why it's so important is because a lot of times when you're starting a business, you don't have enough money to just hire a team on a daily basis. And the other thing is, you might not need a team on a daily basis right now. You might just need contractual work, and you don't have maybe not have a ton of money, and you want to be able to spread that money around and get things done. I'm gonna give you my list of people that I work directly with, and all you gotta do is just comment list, and I'll make sure that list gets right over to you. It's gonna have anywhere between 5 to 10 different people that I work with in different spaces that I still do work with, some of them today. And it'll be good for you to be able to just link up with some of these contractors and get some work done, and not be afraid of, because a lot of times people go try to get people overseas but don't know exactly who to work with. So right there, you're already in an analysis paralysis, because you're looking at all these different people who you could potentially work with and don't know who to work with and who to trust. I have a list of trusted contractors that will definitely help you build your business. So again, if you're building and you need dependable help, I'm giving these connects away, and all you have to do is just comment list below, and to make sure you get that list over to you. All right, because I've been feeling this pull, like, the call to something bigger. And the thing was this, and I'll say this: when we were in Detroit, web design already had started really being a monkey on my back. I mean, it was to start to really get the engine rolling like I wanted to. I did it the last year or so we were in Detroit. It was just tough, and because I knew that I had to transition because of the way I built that business. And the way that I built that business was not the right way I recommend anybody building a business. It was built all around me. So it was built off my ideas, um off of my know-how and all my expertise. And so I was the smartest person in the room all the time with that business. And right there, that's already the mistake, because then if you're the smartest person in the room when it comes to your business, then there's no one else for it to depend on. And my business wasn't able to move outside of me. It was Ralph's ideas, Ralph's designs, Ralph's everything. So if Ralph wasn't doing the design work, if Ralph wasn't doing the development work, if Ralph wasn't doing all the things, then the business just was not operating. Even when it came to marketing, it just wasn't operating. So I found myself being torn apart in so many different ways. So one month, and the business made really good money. One month doing really, really well, but then because of all the marketing I'm doing, but then the following month, because I'm drowning now, I'm in the weeds with the business. Now I gotta put my head down and get that work done. And I didn't trust anybody else to do anything for me because it was my work. It was all of my everything, and I built this big old business, and now it's not doing it. I can't really perform it the way I want to or live the way I want to because it's all about me. That computer is attached to my hip. I go on a vacation with just my wife, and that thing is coming right with me because I remember we went to Jamaica, and we couldn't even fully check into my hotel because after we got the plane and we got to the resort, all I got was fires. Websites were going down. Websites were just everybody's website was just having a firing issue for whatever reason. So I'm literally in the lobby of the hotel, not even checking into the hotel yet because I'm getting everybody's website fixed while we're in Jamaica. Like, give me the Wi-Fi. I need to get these people's stuff right. And we finally got to our hotel room, but even in that, like, I'm down at the beach now on my computer, just still working. And it's just like, dang, do I really want to live like this for the rest of my life? And I don't. I want to create something that's outside of me that can fully operate outside of me. And one thing that, this idea is that I want to create a business that my grandmother can understand. And and I know you're like, well, your grandmother can understand. Yeah, in the simplest way. If my grandmother can understand it, then anybody can understand it. If anybody can understand it, anybody can digest it. And if anybody can digest it, then all I gotta do is pick a target market and go after it really, really hard. And on our way from Detroit after selling our home, we're like, hey, C4 Game Truck was really just supposed to be like a stepping stone business. It wasn't supposed to be this thing of what it's turning into now. But I had just imagined it. I knew it would make good money, but I just imagined it being something that I would take the money from and just go and invest into something else and then get bigger and bigger and bigger. But C4 Game Truck has a wide open industry and a wide open opportunity to really make some things really, 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 really happen. And I'm extremely excited about where that is going, and also giving credence and credit to what happened and how it happened from Ralph Walker Designs and what it taught me, and the things that I'm still using in that industry into this industry, which made this go way faster. It took me some years to hit six figures with Ralph Walker Designs. It didn't even take 12 months for me to hit six figures with this, and also it taught me how to count runways. So, the runway is after you start making a certain amount of money in a business, you have a $1 million runway, you have a 6-figure runway, you have a 7-figure runway, you have an 8-figure runway, and what that means is this is calculating how much it's going to be by the time you're done, or by the time the year is ended, what that runway looks like. You can do your runway for over 5 years or whatever, how you want to do it. But I do mine just in 1 year, just like, hey, this is what the runway looks like from what we already doing. This is the runway in which the runway could be in the following year if we did certain things. And so, along with EBIT and all that stuff, and we'll talk about all that business lingo at a different time. But this right here has taught me so much, and I'm so excited about where that is going. And I want to just give a giveaway. If you heard anything today, I want you to hear this. A safe transition doesn't mean you're scared. It doesn't. Just take the time to really build out the next thing. And I think the other part is the fear of how much time it takes to really sit with the idea, plan the idea, and really go after it, which can be scary for sometimes. And not knowing exactly what to do, how to do it. Man, make as many phone calls as you can. Become friends with people that are in the industry. Make phone calls. I've called people in this industry like, hey, I come from web design. If you need any work, but I need to take some time to ask you some questions. And if you need some work done, I do it according to where we're at, and just so I can build some rapport. Nobody ever took anything, but they answered the questions because, one, it's a free game. Like everybody, I'm not trying to take over nobody's area. I'm just trying to get certain questions answered, and also just like do your own research too. We got ChatGPT, man. If you're not using at least the bare minimum of ChatGPT in business, your business probably sucks. I said it. And I'm saying ChatGPT as the bare minimum. Like ChatGPT is like user first entrance to AI. Like that's just your entrance right there. If you're not using ChatGPT at the minimum, your business sucks. Yep, your business sucks, and you're tired. You're tired of thinking. You're tired of trying to come up with all these different things. You're probably ready to give up on your business at this point because you're seeing everybody else kind of move forward a little bit differently than you are. My suggestion is use it and use it right and use it as much as you can. I use it for everything. I use it for everything. And because I just you want something else right there that can think against what you're thinking and try to find loopholes in your thought processes so that you can make the best decision going forward. So that's a part of just having wisdom and in your transition, just saying, hey, how can I wisely transition from this business to the next business? What are some safeguards that I need to have in order to do that? How do I, if you're in the business of service-based businesses, which I think is the best businesses to be a part of, and to be honest, service-based businesses are going to be around forever. So if you're even thinking about getting into business and don't know what business to get in, find a service-based business first. Find be an electrician, start an electrical company, things that robots can't take over. The web design, and that's another reason too. Web design, I can only imagine what AI is going to do with web design in the next 5 years. It hasn't. There's still room for us in this space when it comes to web design, but it has definitely done its job already, showing itself that it's going to really, really happen. You can go get a web design built, developed, and designed with AI right now. It's going to be amazing. Probably not amazing, but you can still do it. But in the next, maybe I'm even 5 years is probably too long. 2 to 3 years, it's gonna be a whole different animal, and I can only imagine who's ever still in that industry what they're gonna have to deal with. And web design was a tool, but C4 mobile gaming is where I'm supposed to be at right now, and I'm choosing a level of focus not just because I'm desperate, but because I'm clear on what I know and what I see down the road with that business, and also clear about how I want to live the rest of my life. And C4 Game Trust is going to give me that opportunity again, where I can leave the business and it still operates. And the one of the coolest things is when I'm out with my family and my truck is out on the road and the business is getting handled. That is like one of the sweetest moments, and also just valuing what I'm building in a different way. To be out with your family and you're still making money is like the most amazing thing. Also, when you're asleep, people create bookings while you're asleep, so you're making money literally while you're asleep, and that's a great feeling too. And that's just a testament to the level of marketing that we're doing. It's so beautiful, man. It'll be 2 years in January that we've been operating C4 Game Truck, and we have over 162, 65 5-star reviews. And it's businesses that have been here for 5, 6, 7, 9 years, 10 years, and don't have as many reviews as we have. So that's just also just a testament to my standard of what I'm doing with this business and how important it is to still get back with our clients, even though we're being booked. That it's not being booked isn't just good enough. I want to know how we made you feel. How did the brand move you? And that's what's so important, so that we can share that with other people. The biggest thing is this, and what you're when you run into trying to transition from one business to the next, your issue is really the splitting of power, splitting of your power, splitting of your time, and it makes you even more tired when you're trying to do two things at once when both are really um, pulling on you. Now, if you have a business and one business is already operating, it doesn't need you from the day to day. Yes, that gives you room to go and do and start other things. But while both are pulling on you, you can't split. You can't split it up like that. You have to go where the power is the strongest, and that's the power of transitioning from one business to another. Is not trying to do both, because not the reality of it is that you're really just trying to hang on to the money and not really the business itself. Um, and that right there is so key. You gotta let that be. You can't be afraid to let that them finances go, because it would definitely increase in the other area where you give more attention to. What you focus on will grow, and that is so true. What you focus on will grow, but if your focus is split, there's no level of real growth in either area. Pick one focus, grow it, then take your next focus after you've grown that and it's going where it's supposed to go. You can transition to another focus, but what you focus on will grow, and that is so important that we got to just move with diligence in when it comes to our work and how we're doing it, and what we're giving off when we're actually performing our duties. Figuring out when you're setting up your business is also really, really important, to set it up from the beginning with other people already in mind. If you don't have other people in mind, it's going to be a very hard transition, because you are doing every single thing. And that's not good for you either, because then it's going to be hard for you to let it go because of your control issue with it. It ain't being seen and done, and it don't look like how you would do it. Coach your staff. We're getting ready to start training. I got one guy who works with me right now, and he had his ear pod in while he was at an event, and I didn't like the way that he talked to the parent. Not that he did anything wrong per se to the parent, it's just not my standard. I said, "Hey man, did you sell a Nintendo Switch?" And he said, "No, she didn't want it." I said, "Did she not want it because you didn't present it right, or did she not want it because she genuinely didn't want it?" And I said, "The way that you introduce yourself to her is not the way that I would like you to introduce yourself." And he was like, "But it's my fault though. I take full accountability for it." And he says, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because I don't think I've done a good enough job coaching you and training you in that space. We were so focused on driving that the level of engagement that I want you to have and how I want you to say it wasn't there. And there's certain words I want you to say that are key in every transition, and confidence. I want you to be confident when you're dealing with a parent. One, you're young, so anytime you're dealing with people that can can see a significant age difference, there's always a level of hierarchy that's automatic with this. I want you to, because I want you to understand this too, that this game truck is your game truck when it's in your hands. It's not theirs, it's yours. You do what you're supposed to do and what's best for your game truck while you have it. And if you don't do that, then you give power to somebody else to be able to tell you what to do, and you don't work with as much confidence as you should in order to bring this whole thing home. So this is the thing. Again, just making sure that you have everyone in mind when you're getting ready to build your business. And I have also, if you're a new business owner, you can go to my website, rolfwalker.com, and you can download the 6-figure PDF, and it basically shows you what path you're on with to drive and build your business. If how quickly you can get to 6 figures within your business. A lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people don't even think about that when they are developing a business. Figuring out the finances before you get into it is really, really important. I see so many people get into businesses and they get stuck within the business because they didn't think about the real growth of it. So now they built their life on these certain businesses, and now they can't transition or they can't really grow because everything is just based upon that dollar amount. And they've also, I really believe in keeping the business lean. You don't want to, as you're growing, you don't want to put so much weight on it financially from the beginning, because it's hard for it to grow at that point, and that's extremely important. Our goal at the end of 2026 is to have 8 more trucks. We got 1 more truck coming in December 1st, and we want to have 8 more trucks by the end of 2026. That's our goal. And this second truck is going to be the one that, because I'm not increasing my overhead after it, I'm doing exactly what I need to do, hiring a driver, but we're not increasing marketing. We're transitioning marketing. We're spreading our marketing out so we can get more attention and awareness, but we're keeping the business lean. We're not even about to go buy a new business office because of it. We're trying to keep it so lean to the point that it's just automatic buying new trucks. And then when those new trucks come in, it'll be nothing just to go buy a new office space. It'll be nothing to go do whatever we need to do, but we want to try our best to keep as lean as possible. Not hire too fast, not hire too slow as well, but just keep on pace of everything that you're seeing. You see what you see when you see those dollars come in. And again, transition safely, start your new business wisely. And if you have any more questions or want to see more content regarding business and where my mind is at with business and how to do certain things, comment below. I want to talk more to people about it, and also give some credence and understanding about how business works and what it takes to actually do a business that involves a group of people and figure out your target audience. With that being said, I really appreciate you guys watching. Hope you learned something from this episode. Subscribe if you haven't already done so, and comment list below if you want that list for all my partners that I use overseas. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, guess what? I'm dealing with Samson, not Delilah, but just Samson on the next episode. And I want you to tune in about that because it deals with business as well. And where I thought I used to say words like, everything I touch turns to gold. God had to handle me with that. I want to talk about that in my next episode. And it's regarding Samson. Talk to you guys soon.